I want you to relax, okay? I know that this whole camera thing is so relax. Come, let's count to 3. Now let's do some deep breath. Some that's like good, right? Want you to pray?
Yes, I must take deep breaths.
Oh, say that, take a deep breath. Okay, my bad. Hi everyone. I would say hey church girl, but Andre said no.
Hi guys.
Yeah, so I have a special guest with me today. This is my fiance, Andre. I never get tired of saying that. All right. Welcome to my channel. My name is Zharamarieyt. For those who are just joining me, this is a Christian creative channel where you have clean Christian content. We try to upload every Friday, but in this episode we'll be telling our story. I posted our engagement videos on, and the people them love you.
Really?
Yes. And everybody was like, oh, we want to hear your story. How did you guys meet?
Sure, it's me them love, or them love the idea of me being in your story? I feel like it's more like that.
Well, them like you because the engagement cute.
Oh.
You understand?
Okay.
So
and I love you guys too then.
So it's more them like us.
Okay.
Right? Plus, I promise to always tell our story at some point. All so right, if you're interested in this type of video, don't scroll. Stop. Click the subscribe button, click like, share with a friend, comment below. Andre is sitting here awkwardly because he just don't really know what to do in that part here.
I'm just here, you know.
He just oblige me, right? So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, share this video, and continue watching. So you'll see us through our own adventures of XYZ, XYZ adventures. It's cool. It's our hashtag. It's our thing. I would like to joke about the fact that our life or relationship is like a Netflix series. So our recollection will kind of just be like a review of the different seasons as we go through our journey.
Yeah, we just tell you guys a little bit about our history, how we got here.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey.
How did I become a fiance?
How did I crease my shoe?
Alright, you can go first. What were your first impressions of me?
I thought she was a little weird, to be honest. So actually you should start because your knowledge of me started before my knowledge
it's
of
true.
you.
So when I first met Andre, well, I never met him intentionally, right? I went to a children's convention and I saw him preaching. Now at the time,
so as you can imagine, this was a long time.
Maybe we were like 10, 11. And at the time, kids just don't preach. So I guess this is season one starting, yeah. Kids don't really preach, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. You know, he's a little boy, but him talk like a big man, and him do big man things from pulpit and stuff. But anyways, time passed, and I remember mommy never came to the convention. She was listening to it on the radio at the time. She was back home, and I remember her saying, you know, this little boy preach and it was so good and whatever. And like, you know, may I say yes, but you know, at 10, 11 we don't really care that much, so we move on with life. And then we saw him again when I was in first form, and it was another children's convention. This time it was a Clarendon convention, and his sister was the one who introduced him. I can't forget. And she said
Maypen
Church. Yeah. And like, should I say something like, you know, he goes to Glenmere and whatever. And mommy saying, you go to Glenmere, him go to Glenmere, I want you to have friends like that. And like, me say, no mommy, first of all, me say, if me must have no friend, why would I want to have friend with the pastor boy, like the preacher guy? Cause
would you look at that?
I'm a girl, and
yeah,
you understand that it just never up my alley.
Okay.
Nevertheless, I kind of
not up her alley, but guess who said who first?
No. That's different altogether, Andre. Let me tell this story, right? So, so afterwards, I went to school. Long story cut short, he's there extra, so you cannot see him, right? And he was in charge of cadet. He was He did a fresher in a cadet like first year, and he was helping some people drill on the netball court. So for those of you who are familiar with cadet is like a soldier thing for high school children, right? That's a little simple. Is that like disrespectful?
It's a paramilitary organization for high school students.
Yeah, so you're a soldier but you're at high school in a sense, right?
We can't talk about that one next time.
But then at the time I was in Pathfinder, and for the Adventist people, you know that Pathfinder to us is a serious thing, and we had a Clarendon drill team. If you're watching this and you're from the Clarendon drill team for that year, big up yourself. We used to go all sorts of places, right? And I remember going over to him and I was like, hi, I know that you're Adventist and you drill really well and whatever, so I'm inviting you to the drill team. Imagine, you know, me just invite the guy to the drill team. Him just say, no, not interested.
I politely declined.
You're never polite. And like me say, first of all, you know, like me say, anyways, he said he wasn't interested and we moved on. I moved on.
So let me tell you my version of that same part of the story, right?
Okay.
So I was there on the netball court. No, it was on the basketball court. I was on the basketball court at Glenmuir, training some guys who they were like a few months behind me in cadet. And well, at the time both of us were recruits because I was just like a few weeks senior as a recruit. Nevertheless,
enough.
I was training them, kind of trying to get them up to speed, and then she just walked onto the basketball court, just walked right into where I was trying to teach the guys. You know me, I try to build little authority for myself. My girl just walked right up to me and I could just go like, hi. And I remember she goes, hi, you're Andre, right? I say, yes. Meanwhile, everybody else there was addressing me as Mohan Singh. But she came and said, you're Andre, right?
That's the man I get it.
Yeah, but it just kind of threw me off. I was just like, I'm in the middle of something, you know? Nevertheless, I think I remained polite. And I said, so what's up? And she goes, I saw you drilling and you're pretty good. And, you know, I'm a part of a drill team, the Clarendon Pathfinder drill team, and we do a lot of cool things. We go to the Governor General's
I was
place.
so excited about the drill team, guys.
Meanwhile, I was coming from a place where everybody in cadet was telling me that Pathfinders don't drill good. No, apologies to everybody who's a Pathfinder, but you know, that was a story I was fed. Anyway, she invited me and I politely declined. I said, no thanks, I don't think so. Or I don't remember exactly what I said, but I'm pretty sure I was polite. Nevertheless, she left. And then I never saw her back for like 2-3 years.
I mean, so I knew of his existence. Anybody who was at Glenmuir during my time, they know that everybody knew about Zandri because he would always be the one who would be enough and represented the school all the time in stuff like nobody else can read. Why are you always have to read something them?
The teacher them asked me, I say yes.
So he was a big teacher's pet.
Yeah, that's true. That's
he was a big
true.
teacher's pet, and I mean a charmer, obviously. So we knew about him, but obviously him didn't know about, you know, especially because I was a hot girl. We never rolling in the same
crowd. No,
he was a nerd. I was a hot girl. You get what I mean? I was always bright though. Like I mean, they do my work, right? Well, I was a hot girl nevertheless. Anyways, long story cut short, maybe when we were in third form, I decided, you know, I need to change my life. I wanted to start taking, you know, being a Christian more seriously. I wanted to take. Second form was just very rough for me. Let's just say that. A lot of things happened that shouldn't have happened. Nothing too dramatic. Might give you a story time another time, but I wanted to change things around. I wanted to have new friends and stuff, and I started hanging out in ISF, which is the what name again? Inter-School Christian Fellowship, right? So I used to go to that, and that's where I met Zandria, who is his sister. And I remember knowing that she was there, and she was also Adventist. We kind of seen her from afar, but I never really said anything to her, but I really liked her, right? Because ISF has a lot of denominations, and you know, Adventists are much more, let's say, a little bit more reserved on a quieter side. So that was a worship I was used to. So now kind of mixing with the Pentecostals and the Apostolics. I mean, no shade or nothing against you guys, but it was a little louder than I was used to. So, you know, you throw somebody in an environment that they weren't used to. But I felt like Zandria got me. So every time somebody start talking in tongues and, you know, it start kind of get, okay, what's going on? What I would have need for. Anyways, I said, you know, I wanted friends like those. And then I was studying for a test, and I was like, you know, I hear that this boy bright, so me go borrow him book. One day me just like see him pass on the corridor and me go ask him for the book. I'll even insert a picture right here because I still have like books from those times. And I just asked him to borrow the book. He thinks that is because
she saw me walking down the corridor. We were in 3rd form at the time. She saw me walking down the corridor.
So this is like grade 9 for those who want the equivalent. We were maybe about 15 at the time. Or not, so yeah, 15.
I don't know the age, but yeah, grade 9.
Yeah.
That's what that was. So I'm walking down the corridor and she comes up to me, she like just stops me and walking going about me. She comes right up to me.
I've always been that girl.
Like I don't even remember. I felt kind of she just came right up to me. I don't mean like she came and said hi Zon.
Hello.
Just came right up to me and go, hi. I heard that you're good at science. Can I borrow your science book please? And I go, sure, I guess. And I turn back and I go back into the class and I take up the book.
I wanted to get an A.
And I gave it to
Mommy
her.
did bet me and said she would give me $1,000 for every A I got. It was serious business.
Yeah, well, I never quite registered it as serious business. I figured this girl might like me, you know. She's trying that thing. But you know, she was cute, so I mean, obviously. So I said, you know, let's see what can go on. So I lent her the book, no strings attached really. But now that kind of opened my eyes and I was just like,
who's that girl?
Okay, I think I can keep looking this direction. And about a week or 2 weeks after, maybe 1 week?
Yeah.
Maybe a week after that, a friend of mine, big up yourself Cheyenne if you're watching this.
It was Cheyenne and Renee, they were in a pageant.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Cheyenne was my friend. Well, I mean, I knew Renee, but Renee and I weren't that close at the time.
But Alice and I would have gone for Renee and you.
Right. So I went to the pageant to support Cheyenne. Zara and Alison went to the pageant to support Renee. I never knew Zara was going. Zara never knew I was going. Anyway, I remember being there. It was at Wyndham Hotel.
Is that hotel still up around?
I don't know. It was at the Wyndham Hotel. And I remember me and my big cousin walking somewhere along the corridor and Zara appears out of nowhere. And like she would have said, I don't even remember the details of this part to be honest, but I feel like she probably just said hi or something.
I don't remember saying anything, but I don't remember. It's foggy in my head.
I'm not entirely sure how that part went either. But then we struck up a conversation and the only thing I remember about the conversation is that I was saying that I'm hungry. And she was saying, you know, it's after 9 in the night, what you're going to eat. I was just like, you know.
I don't remember
I remember it quite vividly actually. And I was just like, you know, if I could get my hand on a plate of food, beef and rice and peas, something, just some food right now, I'd be good. And she's like, you don't mean like an apple? Or I said, no, I don't mean like an apple. I mean like a full meal because I am starving. I remember that conversation. And then now, I turned to my cousin and I was just like, so now she left. And I turned to my cousin and I was just like, you know, I feel like that girl like me, you know.
Why you think me like you? I was a hot girl and you were a nerd.
I feel like that girl like me, you know. And then he said, well, she looked nice. He said, well, she looked nice. And then for the first time, like I actually articulated it, I was just like, man, she looked real nice. Like she was in this silver dress and red heels. I still remember the picture, like in my mind. I still see it every time. I remember the dress, silver dress, red. You can probably just like flash it across the screen. You have a picture of it?
I can't find that dress somewhere.
Yeah.
It's more like bronze though, but it was something along the platinums, like them something there. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like this, but shiny.
I don't remember. It was shiny.
Yeah, but it was shiny. And red heels, I remember.
For Auntie Lisa. Pick up yourself, Auntie Lisa.
At that point now, I spent the rest of the evening just thinking back on the conversation that we had, and all of you who have ever had, you know, like you have a crush at some point, you know that you feel like the butterflies in your belly and all kinds of things.
Every time you look around, you see the girl.
And then like I actively now placed myself in a position where she would have to walk past for the rest of the night. So when I went inside to sit down, I sat right by the walkway, so that when she come in and walk past, I could see her again. And then when she came out, we left. No, you guys left first, and you said you were leaving, and me find a reason to leave at that point, and then I circumvent where I think that they were going to be, and I go by the pool, go sit down, so she can pass, so I can see her again, and I saw her again. Anyway, I don't know if it's at this point that we exchanged numbers. Yeah. And
I think it was like, let me know when you reach home. Oh, or show you a message.
That was it.
Or it was that I had a number before because I didn't want your help with signs. I don't remember how it did go.
But we had some kind of conversation about letting something initiated the thought that we're going to text later on in the evening. So whatever she was going to say to me, I was going to say to her. We knew that there was a conversation coming. So so at this point I just can't wait for this conversation. And she messaged me when she reached like on the highway heading from Kingston going home.
We had a flat tire.
And then we were there talking for a minute, and then she told me that she was actually on the side of the road because they had a flat tire, and then we just kept on talking.
Wow.
And then
you remember a lot of the details, man.
Yes, man. I remember that conversation so well.
And I know you felt kind of like you feel responsibly, I know.
No, I don't know how. I don't know if I was ahead of you. How come I never like saw you on the highway or whatever, but somehow I reached home at this point. I'm not too sure how the details
it was a bus. It's not like, remember saying like one of the coming and come support.
Yes, it's true. It was a whole bus load of us. I was a little boy.
You're a kid.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known to say that's them start to go
take care of the girl.
No. But then in my head I was just like, no, I felt responsible somehow for helping to take care of her till she reached home. And so I reached home that evening, and I was on the phone with her texting until
me have to make sure I'm in.
Yeah.
And at the time I think we didn't have like a flashlight. It was like, and you did have a BBM, and you're like, you know, have BBM.
Yeah, I have a
Blackberry. Yeah, like I say, not
BBM.
And like I say, no, I'm not have a BBM. Make a no care on me. And I think what happened after you get free text, after you send 5 texts,
send 5 text messages, then you get the other 95. Get the other 95 free.
These nowadays kids don't know
about the free text because then WhatsApp come in. Yeah. Anyway, so we text right through until how much o'clock that morning, and let's just say that conversation was really what clinched it for me. I was just like, wow, she's a really nice girl.
Yeah.
I think what really got me is just her ability to have a conversation. Me love to chat, and I love a good conversation.
Yeah, you love chat for sure.
And me love a good conversation. Yeah, skip over that part. And she gave that to me. That she really gave that to me. She gave me a good conversation. I remember that I was
you were a good conversationalist in general.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I remember that I was still kind of starstruck by that dress. Remember? So not only was she beautiful,
she could have talked.
But she could have talked.
Yeah, she could have hold her own.
Yeah.
That was one thing for me to hear. Also, you're cute. At the time, I didn't really get into the handsomeness yet.
You're just cute.
You're cute. Yeah. And then he would wear these plaid shirts everywhere. He used to have like 11 or 12 plaid shirts.
That's another story for another time. But basically, somebody told me that I look good in a plaid shirt.
And him just
about 11.
Well, you're the cutest. You have
colors.
the cutest eyes, and yeah, you're adorable. But after that, we spoke a lot all the time on the phone. And let me tell you, I was very impressed by how deep Zandre was spiritually. And that was really what got me. It wasn't even about how cute he was at the time, or how bright he was in school, because he was a good person to have around because he'd get help with your work. But I can insert like screenshots here to show you that Zandre and I were talking about how we can't just be playing with our lives spiritually, because God soon come, and what God wanted for us. And at one point I remember us talking and him telling me that him feel like God have a mission for him. Him don't know which flock him gonna lead, but he
not in a psychotic kind of way of having delusions of grandeur,
but because he feels like God is talking
I felt that to whom much is given, much is expected.
And it was my first time having anybody, I'm not even talking about like as a boyfriend or anything, but it was cool that it was a boy who at 15 you're going under a lot of peer pressure. So I mean, at that point, I was glad that I was in that position where there was a guy who was good for me, but also there was a friend who I could talk about things that I really wanted to talk about. Nobody else was studying the lesson. I mean, it blossomed there. It blossomed into like a beautiful friendship.
I realized at that point that, you know, out of all the girls I had casual conversations with, she was probably the only one who struck me as wanting to go deeper. Not necessarily in terms of emotional or romantic things, because to be honest with you,
at that time you have a business, but you'll see in the other parts of the season review, okay?
I really never cared about that emotional stuff.
This season was beautiful because it was kind of like stepping into a new phase of life. It was kind of a finding yourself season for me, especially.
Yeah,
it was a soul searching season. This was really the season that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that season of my life.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
No, this YouTube channel wouldn't exist if it wasn't for that season.
I remember saying to her one of those nights, I remember I was on the bed, Tanaya, that's one of my little cousins, and
on
Jay,
the air mattress.
where it was a water bed. Auntie Blossom, is Auntie Rose and Uncle Carlton water bed. Tanaya on my right hand side, Jay on my left hand side. We're on free night talking. They're eavesdropping on my conversation, but them kind of in and out of sleep. And I mean, I wasn't saying anything rude. I mean, there aren't a lot of people at, what were we, like 15?
Yeah.
At 15 talking at 2-3 a.m. whose conversations are about what we're talking about. But nevertheless, I was having the time of my life.
Deep stuff.
We were talking about the end times and about getting deeper spiritually and what that means for us as...
Oh my gosh, we were so grown.
What that means for us as just people trying to make life work.
Just young Christians.
Yeah. And then I remember I said to her, because I knew of her as being a hot girl, so she wasn't very attractive to me as a life partner, because I'm just like...
But I mean,
you know?
But you think about the fact that at 15, what kind of life partner you think about?
Yeah, listen man, at 15 I said...
Yeah, Zandra was very mature. Like,
I said, anybody that I'm having any kind of relationship with is because I see myself marrying them later in the future.
Oh man.
It don't make sense to me to just have a relationship for the sake of having a relationship. The end goal must be that this person can be my wife. So if she cannot be my wife, then it not gonna work.
Wow, at 15?
And even at 15, because I felt like that's the only reason I should be going into a relationship with that in mind. Like, me not say I'm necessarily going to get married to you tomorrow. But, you know, I remember on one of those conversations, I said to her, would you change for somebody that you love? And in response, her response was not quite what I expected, to be honest. She said to me, who wants you to change for them?
Because I can't mean that about. Listen, let me tell you, let me push a pause. Zara has always been very self-assured, no matter how fallen.
Listen, I'm here trying to get this young lady trying to get from this young lady who is a Christian, an Adventist, probably the closest person I've seen to the kind of person that I'd want to build a life with.
But didn't have like a nuances.
Who had some little you know, little kinks to sort out, you know. But I never felt it my responsibility to change her. But I knew that if I wanted, no, it may not have been anything big, but you know, I kind of knew what I wanted to see, and I saw most of it in her. I didn't see everything, and it kind of left me a little bit unsettled. I wasn't very emotionally mature. You'll definitely see that in the rest of the season. I wasn't very emotionally mature, but spiritually, I was...
Yeah, spiritually, he was definitely the one who knew what he was doing and knew what he wanted. I was just getting there.
Right, so because of that discrepancy, I never wanted to ask for more than it was reasonable to ask for. So I just thought, let me just throw it out there and just hear what she says about if she'd be willing to change for somebody. The girl asked me who asked me to change for them. It's just like, huh?
Because me wonder what trouble you.
What trouble me? Anyway, I don't know that she ever answered that question. I feel like we probably just went somewhere else. But
that night we spoke about everything though.
Yeah, that night we spoke about family, we spoke about goals in life. We spoke about a long time we talk about goals in life.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while.
We spoke about running to the mountains when we get older in life and Christ soon come. We spoke about ministry, the fact that I was very involved in ministry.
At the time, where do you want to be at the time? Pastor or pilot?
I wanted to be a pilot.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a pilot at that time. But basically, at that point, I was trying to get from her if she would be willing to grow spiritually to kind of meet me where I am. Now, retrospectively, that was a big ask.
Of course, it's a big ask.
You know, that was a big ask. It's almost unreasonable to ask somebody to do that. But I wasn't, as I said, I may have been a little bit more spiritually mature than the average person my age, but emotionally, I definitely was not very mature. Mm-hmm. So I never thought about whether that was good to ask somebody for a bad task. But I just want to know, because if we're going to try and make this work, then we have to be on the same page spiritually, at least in my mind. Nevertheless, even though she never answered that question, over the next couple of days as we continued to talk, I saw that she was very inclined to growing spiritually.
Yeah, so because I was at a stage in my life where that was my mission. And I saw that you could help me, right? It was, you know when you say to yourself that right now this is what you want for your life, that was the next step for me. It was never about a man.
and I never knew that, by the way. I never knew that she wanted to grow spiritually, like actively made a concerted effort for that. God just has a way of putting
people
things
and the
right time. Mm-hmm. Almost, it seems coincidental, but obviously it was His plan.
That's why this is how God wrote our love story.
Yeah, and I tried my best to try to help her to grow spiritually without telling her what to do or without requiring her to do things. Mm-hmm. But I would just tell her what I'm doing, and if she's up for it, then we have a vibe.
And that's when we start. So we can jump some of the details after this, but that's when we really started to. The summer of that now. So we're still in the summer. We don't reach the studying prior, but it's still in the summer, and I go to Florida for 2 weeks. Remember, I said no, I have no BBM, and I not have nowhere for him to contact me.
We never started studying the lesson together before that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
We started studying the lesson together before that because she would have told me that she was more interested in trying to start studying.
And that was what, early teen or something like that.
Yeah,
the one where you can pull out.
The grey one, and you pull it out. Everything was in black and white. You pull it out and study.
And we would study lesson together on the phone at night and pray
every
together.
evening at like 8:30.
And we've maybe prayed together every night since then.
Yeah.
I mean, give and take 1 and 2 nights when maybe you have company over whatever, but since then almost every night, and that's been years ago. Except for season 2 when we did stop talk, but you'll see that.
Season 3. We'll get to it.
But then it was at that point I said, ladies, if he wanted to, he would, okay? Because in those moments we never have no WhatsApp, we never have nothing. And Zandre could not get through to me because there's no way to contact me. This guy sent me an email, okay?
Only one?
He sent me emails because 2 days did pass and I didn't know if my plane crashed. Him did I wonder what happened. Him sent me an email.
Yo, that was the longest 2 days of my life. I had no idea.
I did full 2 days.
It was about 2 weeks, yeah?
However long it wasn't a long time.
It was about 2 weeks.
And he emailed me, and that's how we started communicating on Yahoo Messenger, where you're gonna type, and he had it on his phone because he did have BlackBerry. And music type and stuff until 2 weeks passed by. During that 2 weeks he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I told him I had to think about it, even though they don't know what they want to say, but you can't make them feel too good, you understand?
Listen, you see, after those 2 days, because it really wasn't 2 weeks that I was waiting on a response. It was about 2 days. But when she finally responded and she said the reason she took so long is because she had to sign in on the computer and she had to settle in where she was and stuff. Meanwhile, I was at home just waiting on her to and you see, when she responded to me, and I realized that, wow, okay. So not only is she blossoming into the person that I kind of in my mind created as the ideal person for me, but she's pretty, she's nice as a person, and right now she's in a foreign country and she still remember about me.
Aww.
I just said, listen, I'm taking this opportunity, me now make it pass. And I remember explicitly asking her at that point over either Kik. It was either Kik or Yahoo Messenger.
One of
but we were going between those two. And Facebook Messenger. There were some questions, some things on Facebook Messenger as well. So we were going, among those three different platforms.
I can try to find the Facebook screenshots, but I can't. I've been looking for the Yahoo screenshots. I can't find them.
Yeah. But yeah, I asked her to be my girlfriend and she said she'd think about it. I think she took like a day or two.
Yeah, I took a day.
I thought that when I wasn't hearing from her was the longest days of my life. But from I asked her until she actually got back to me,
it was the longest
time just stood still.
Yeah.
There was no breeze blowing, there was no bird chirping, there was no sun shining, there was just
so
waiting.
Cute.
Suffice it to say, she said yes.
Yeah, I did say yes. And I think what happened after that was on paper it was a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. I guess we call each other boyfriend and girlfriend. We hide and our parents not see we. I'm sorry mommy, sorry daddy.
Hide, where we hide go?
We never really hide, but it was still like when you're young and you're innocent.
Yeah, you're kind of afraid. You're not telling nobody about it. But we weren't actively hiding. Yeah. Like if somebody asked, then we'd answer. Yeah. But we never go to parents.
I just feel like during that time, you called me your girlfriend, I called you my boyfriend. In retrospect, it was a season of such solid friendship. Because most of our time was spent on the phone studying lessons. That was where we that's where we had most of our conversations because we were so busy with school. Zandre, but it was just so sweet and very innocent, very almost like puppy love in a sense.
Yeah, because remember that you knew about romance and
Zandre never knew.
I never knew and I was not interested.
And he was interested. And I think, I also said that because this period, we're going to say that this period lasted. So we're in 4th form now and it goes up to maybe 5th form.
Yeah, it goes right up until 5th form.
And during this time, he was very emotionally absent. But we had, because I wanted to grow spiritually, we had that holding us together. Yeah. So that's why I say it was much more like a best friendship.
Yeah, I really just wanted a best friend who is a female who is a good Christian.
Yeah. So even though what I'm trying to say is that even though we had like official titles, it was really just a friendship. Yeah,
because I guess we weren't doing the kinds of things that...
We never spent time together. We never went on any dates. We never did...
We went on dates.
When?
To the lady shop, the lady cook shop.
Zandre, that was way in season 2. We didn't reach this yet. But we were 15 and 16, which part of the day we go on, but other people used to do it. And a lot of people used to meet up and go make on Saturday.
Yeah.
But we couldn't do that because we had church and then we go to church with the parents. Not like we go and like we would see each other at church events and just look on each other and giggle. It was... We never had time.
I never knew what to do. I never cared to do anything more than just know that she's there. Because at that point in life, I never wanted romance.
Yeah.
I never wanted mushy. I never wanted...
And then I personally, as a girl, the hopeless romantic, and I would see other boys around at the time and they would try to get at me or try to give me attention and stuff. And I was like, but why aren't you doing this? I want you to do this. And I remember him saying clear to me, can't forget, I like you, I love you as a person, I care about you, I care about your well-being, but this relationship, it's on the back burner right now. And I could not understand it. I could not understand it. And that really was how season 1 ended.
Yeah. I never felt any remorse saying it. I felt like it was an honest and open statement. We've been having these hard to have conversations for a while.
A long time, yeah.
I don't think, you'll realize that in other seasons I wasn't as good a person as I was in this particular season, in season 1.
Yeah, season 1 was beautiful.
It was really the purity of my mind at that point, and my willful oblivion to all that romantic stuff that goes on out there that kind of kept us pure.
Yeah.
And
pure in mind, pure in action.
Yeah.
And just it was never romantic in that time.
No.
And, I mean,
it was sweet.
It was
and
sweet.
It was cute.
Yeah.
You know?
It was a solid friendship, and it was what we both needed at the time.
Yeah.
And going into fifth form, you know, I did bio as an extra subject because I did all arts and stuff and business, and
me teacher.
And Zandre taught me bio, and we both did IT together.
Yeah, we did IT
and then we would
together.
study Spanish together. So we needed each other during that time in just different ways, you know. So like, you were good company, you know, good company. And by that time, you know, I was getting closer to Zandria, which you know, and it was just nice to have you guys around and have good Christian friends, because for the first time I felt like I could relate.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in a space where I was accepted, you know.
And I think that was very good. That was very good for both of us, because I knew that I had that Christian support.
Yeah.
But during that season, I was very, very aloof and very oblivious, and
He was a
thank
nerd
God.
and a very.
I mean, it saved us.
Yeah,
I mean, I never always. I wasn't always like that. I mean, that never carried through necessarily right up until this point, but but at that season, it was my oblivion that kind of showed Zara that, you know, there's another way to like live and not
You have to be a wild child.
yeah, and not need approval from these other people, and it's fine to be different, because I'm over here enjoying my different life.
Yeah. And then you went through your existential crisis at that time, and I was there.
Yeah,
Because by the time he
definitely
started like questioning God and stuff like that, I was starting to get grounded spiritually, so I could help you through that.
Wasn't that season 2?
That's not season 2, that's fifth form.
That's true.
That's still season 1. And that's when we went to ball together. He asked me to be his date. A lot of time you ask me them like a question, and
Will you be my date?
will you be my date to the ball? And then he showed up. Well, pretty sure it was Andre's idea, but nevertheless, he showed up in matching. We went to the first time we did the matching thing is when we went to church camp.
Yes.
And it was African themed, and I come out in my African theme dress, like a custom made, and Sandra came out in the vest, and I was like,
for what it's worth though, that one wasn't Zandy's idea.
Oh, that
was entirely me. What happened is that
Really?
I asked her to show me a picture of the dress that she was going to wear. She didn't know why I was asking,
You're so cute.
but I asked her to send me a picture. And she sent me the picture of the dress that she was going to wear. Maybe we can find the picture of it.
Yeah.
She sent me the picture of the dress that she was going to wear. And then I brought that picture on my phone to Paul in the Maypen market, the guy who sells the fabric. And I said, Paul, I want this same material to make a vest for me. Wow. And then I brought the material to a tailor, and then I make him make a vest for me. So when we went to church camp.
That was Easter camp.
Yeah, and I asked her to be my date. Obviously, we kind of did go together, you know.
Yeah.
So
I knew he was
she would
gonna
have,
be my date.
yeah. But what she didn't know is that I was gonna show up in the exact same material that she used to make her dress. So when she saw that,
it was
a lot of tears.
It was cute. And then after that, no, you matched me again for ball.
Yeah.
So that was cute. And
I think that one may have been either Zandy or Mommy.
Yeah.
Maybe Mommy. Yeah. Mommy definitely got you the
corsage thing.
Yes.
And the bookmark. I have
it.
It's not here. I think it's in Clarendon. But we did very well in high school.
High school was a good season.
High school was a good season.
We had so much support in a funny way, and I kind of feel bad saying this, but
in a funny way, we
kind of got away with a lot of things in high school. And let me tell you what I mean. The entire staff room knew that we were together.
You really want to put this on YouTube?
I'll put it there. They knew that we were together.
Never know, and everybody did know. Because we were really quiet.
But you see, I was not very quiet.
No,
but
we never quiet. We did run for student council one time.
So they knew, guys, I'm telling you, they knew that
if
we were
you're a teacher
together.
and you're watching this and you knew, please comment.
Yes, you know, let's put it out there.
Let's put it out there. Did you know? Did you guys know?
So I feel like they knew. However, they also knew that we were keeping everything above board. Or at
Above
least
board.
they were inclined to believe
We
that we
were
were
good
keeping everything
students.
above board because
Like,
we really were.
Yeah, I mean, not to toot our own horns or anything, but we were good. Like, we're getting good grades. We were all in student leadership. We're in like a bunch of clubs, and we were doing good. So leave them alone, make them flourish. But did you guys know?
I'd like to.
I really would want to.
Or maybe they definitely knew. At ball, they definitely knew.
Everybody that one data balls on it, not new.
Alright. Teachers, let us know. Let us know.
Did you know? So that would wrap up season 1.
Yeah, that wraps up season 1.
Season 1.
And then we go on to season 2.
See you there.